And welcome back to Everyday Us. In our first episode, we discussed everything relationship-wise, how we first met, how long it's been, and yeah, we were excited to give everybody just a taste of what they're going to be experiencing here. And if you missed it, of course, please go and check it out on social. And of course, Happy New Year's to everybody. I mean, my God, 2025, here we are.
I can't believe it's already 2025. Wow. As a reminder, my name is Mariah.
Ian Clarkson, this lovely host husband.
And we also have our cat Chickpea, who is sitting on the floor near us, but she's a little peed off with us because we are late to feed her dinner.
Mm-hmm. She's very serious about her dinner, looking at us right now, just blinking aggressively, and not at all.
Yeah. Unlike her mother, she's very punctual with her timing.
Yeah, she can say that again.
Well, today we're going to talk about the honeymoon phase. Is it true? How long does it last? And is it all rainbows and sunshines? We're going to get into it today, let you guys know about at least our take on it. And you guys can later on let us know in the comments and on our socials how it was for you.
Yes,
right?
Please comment, please.
Exactly. So subscribe if you haven't already. Well, Ian, what do you think the honeymoon phase means?
The honeymoon phase to me.
The what?
The what? The honeymoon phase to me is just that post-wedding stage when everything feels immaculate. Both sides are obsessed with one another. It's lovey-dovey, all rainbows and sunshine, and yeah, you almost don't want that feeling to go. It's that amazing high of being with your significant other, the one you said I do to.
Yes.
And just living off those embers, honestly. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I completely agree. It reminds me of when we first started dating, and I think you call this the courting stage.
I did.
I just remember everything that came out of your mouth was just perfect. Like, I always wanted to be around you. We were always doing something new, going on hikes, going on water parks, like adventures. You were letting me drive your car. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, wow, this guy really likes me. He's letting me take the driver's seat.
So risky.
I know, you definitely regretted that instantly. But...
And a lot of people try telling me otherwise. Like, you're really going to let her drive your car? It's been how long? And yeah, I do remember the early days. It was a 30-minute commit away from one another. I lived west side, Jersey City. You were in Weehawken.
Yeah.
So it was the light rail or Uber, and yeah, it was still a 30-minute trip, which was a little bit rough. I would take the light rail, walk to her place. She always needed to borrow my car or just Uber, and then just tell me about the price. Sometimes I'm like, oh, well, I'll pick you up next time. I'm sorry.
And I remember I did not have a washer and dryer in my apartment.
Yes.
I would always come to your place with my laundry.
3 body bags of laundry.
And do laundry at your place. And I'm like, okay, might be using you for a laundromat, but the cutest laundromat ever.
That was a nice laundromat. Those cards were very annoying. But that was also early COVID days, too.
Yeah. I mean, we were like a few months.
A few months before COVID.
Right.
Yeah, I'd say just about a few.
And 6 to 8 months before COVID. And then that hit.
But before that hit, our first trip we planned with my family from New Hampshire. We went to Park City, Utah.
Right.
And I remember inviting you to that. Oh, my God. I think before we were even
I don't even know if we were like
legitimate.
Official.
I don't think we were official.
Like, hey, do you want to go on this ski trip? I've never been skiing before.
Didn't even know what a snowboard looked like.
Right.
Had no idea. None of this stuff.
And you guys are all skiers. And I'm like, sure, we're going to go on this, but I'm going to snowboard. And you're like, are you sure about that? And I'm like, yeah. And I bought a snowboard before ever snowboarding or anything like that. I just grew up seeing snowboarders. And I'm like, that is so cool. I want to do that. And you're like, well, my whole family skis. Why don't you do that? You can borrow skis. I'm like, no,
seriously.
I want to snowboard.
Taught you the ways, the basics, but no, you chose snowboarding, which none of us could help you with. And
yeah, I should have listened because we almost ended our relationship on those mountains. But
watching you the tough way, just get down the hill. And you know how ski mountains are. They're counterintuitive. So you have to go to a black to get to a green. And I remember watching you traverse the mountain to get there and just, sorry.
Yeah, it was extremely tough, but we made it through that. And I knew if I can survive a mountain out west with you, then I can survive anything. And here we are today.
Well said. Quote that, everyone.
So let's go to our honeymoon. Let's bring it back. Let's tell them about it. Where did we go?
Honeymoon's fantastic. We went to Greece. We had a number of family friends and friends who've been to Greece, shared their albums. We saw everything. I also studied abroad in Greece when I was in college. And I've been dying to get back out there. It was a different time, too. Like, when I went out there, what happened? The economy crashed. It was like 2010, 2011. So there were just riots and everything. And It was just Athens. We were supposed to be there for 2 weeks. We were only there for 3 days because we had to get out of there. And then we went to Paros and spent the time on the islands, which was great. And then we had to fly home eventually and go back to Athens. But it was a magical place, honestly. Just the Mediterranean, and the two of us love the tropics. So the Mediterranean seemed like a good second choice.
Right. And once you said Greece, I was like, Mamma Mia. Couldn't wait to go. Went shopping, got all my dresses, played the movie 500 times. I was so excited. We went to Athens, and then we took the ferry to Paros.
Paros, correct.
And then we took another ferry to Santorini. That was beautiful. Very touristy, but it was still beautiful.
We expected that, though.
Yeah.
That's where you need to go when in Greece.
Yep. But Paros, definitely highly recommend. That was gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And then from Santorini, we went to Amorgos. And
No, but tell them why we went to Amorgos.
Oh, because I'm hosting a yoga retreat there in June. There's still spots, so sign up.
Oh, she's being modest, too. Like, we were supposed to come home 2 days earlier.
Yeah.
But they reached out to her, and she reminded them that we were currently in the area because we were there on a honeymoon. So they were like, oh, my God, come through. We will easily comp you a room, dinner, everything. And we jumped at the opportunity. We're like, absolutely, why not? So we wanted to come home 2-3 days earlier just to fight off the jet lag before going into the work week. But this seemed fantastic, and it was like,
great.
we're here. We can't. It's not like we could just do a drive upstate once we get home. Like, we're in Greece. Let's go to check this out.
And it was beautiful. Amorgos there are 2,000 people, and there are more goats than there are people.
Yes, that was a fun fact.
On there. We went on this gorgeous hike, and there were like nothing but goats. And then for like a split second, we were like, are goats friendly? Because we are outnumbered. If something was to go down, I don't know. I don't know if they can fight. Should I run? Should I square up?
I mean, I'd square up with the goat. I would tackle a goat in 2 seconds.
But we were outnumbered. They were squad deep.
I just flexed as we were hiking, and they saw me. They're like, Dom Alpha. Don't mess with this guy. The one told the rest of the pack, and they were like, okay, I see you.
Pretending he's a kangaroo over here.
And you're forgetting to mention the trip to get to Amorgos, because when we found out, we were already heading back to Athens, remember? So we took a 9-hour ferry from Santorini back to Athens, got the invite to go to Amorgos so she can do her due diligence for the yoga retreat. So then we spent one quick night in Athens, woke up at 4 a.m, went to the ferry, then took a 10-hour ferry to that island, and we just slept on the ferry the whole time. It was actually the first time since studying abroad that I actually slept on a ferry, and didn't bring back any memories because I had no memories. I couldn't remember a thing, but it was much better, I'd say.
Yeah, but leaving the honeymoon was a nightmare. Okay. Apparently, so we had to take that same 10-hour ferry back to Athens because that's where we were flying out. And apparently, while we were on the ferry, my flight got canceled.
United.
Through the web. Yes, United.
Your phone.
So we arrived at the airport and we're checking in our bags, and I think you gave them your information first and you're all good to go, and I give her my passport and she's just like, you don't have a flight, like a ticket. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, we're on the same flight, like same information, look. She's like, yeah, no, like we have no information here for you.
Your boarding pass was gone. Remember?
Yeah, and I'm like, girlfriend, run it back. Look, like, here's the email. Yeah, no. She's like, I'm sorry, I cannot help you, and we do not have United at this airport, so you're gonna have to call them.
All on the phone. That was,
I am in a foreign country. It is 5 a.m. their time over there, so I don't even know what time it was back at home. Like probably like 12 a.m. or something. And I'm calling them and I'm like, I don't have a flight home. What is going on? And they're like, yeah, it looks like it was canceled through the web. And I'm like, well, that's impossible because I was on a ferry with no Wi-Fi.
Stress fest, honestly. Like the most stressful situation you can imagine. Ending a honeymoon.
Ending
like we're ready to go home. We're tired. We're ready to reacclimate back to life in the States. And we may or may not be even going back to the States.
Right.
So then we flew to the next airport.
So yeah, so they got it
that was a pain in the ass.
situated.
Yeah, the situated,
apparently.
so they say.
And we were only on the same flight on our first flight. So we were leaving from Athens to Italy and
Napoli. Yep.
Naples.
Naples. Oh my God. Mr. International.
So we go there, and then apparently our flight there to the US, we weren't on the same flight. And that was a whole nother situation. So we're fighting again on how we can get on the same flight, and how we just got married and we don't want to separate for 6 or 7 hours on our flight home.
Oh, but adding to that, once we landed in Italy, you had literally like 5 minutes to get to your gate. Like we had to sprint to her gate only to get there, and they were just like, yeah, well, like, we can't help you. We're sorry. Your plane is already on the runway. And I remember you were talking to all of them. I wasn't with you because I was on that flight. So I was behind that like 10-inch thick glass. You remember? Like just on the outside
is she
looking
gonna make it in or not?
And I'm just trying to like mimic you, just running all throughout the airport with you on the other side of that glass, being like thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs up. Like, are we good? Are we not? And you like, I don't even think you could call me at that point. You were so stressed out.
It was so bad. I'm just like, listen, I just want to fly home with my husband. Just please get me on a flight home.
Yeah.
With him.
No, that was rough.
They were finally able to make it work, and yay, we finally made it home.
We finally made it home. We thought there could be a moment where we could actually take advantage of the situation, and we went. I think we had like once we got everything situated, we had a couple of hours before the flight left. So we went out into the area and we tried to get pizza. Remember that? Yeah,
but Naples was just... It was not the spot. Yeah. Everything was closed. It wasn't it.
Those Italians, they closed everything down at lunch. And that was the only time period we had to experience anything. So we got like, a couple spritzes and went back to the airport,
hung out in the lounge until it was time for our flight. But making it home was a journey. But thank goodness, I was just like so happy to be home. You know, like, bless. But what was it like coming back for you, entering the real world, settling into reality?
Yeah, the return from the honeymoon was definitely interesting. I mean, it was expected, of course. We basically had to start working on changing all the paperwork with our new last names together, which was fun. Going back to the office was definitely an experience. Every other person just kept coming up to me, hey, congratulations, oh my God, what was it like? And then we'd have these Zoom meetings. Sometimes there were big town hall Zoom meetings. And the first question would be, okay, Ian, so honeymoon, photos, experiences, food, anything, talk, like what happened? So I remember we had one very big stakeholder meeting, and the first 10 minutes was me just recapping the honeymoon, everything, and just going through everything, full details. Eventually I had to share my album of photos with everybody, but people were generally interested. A lot of people were giving me respect. I will say I did not get a single gift from anybody from my company, which kind of surprised me. I was hoping to maybe come back to like a bottle of bourbon or a thing of champagne on my desk saying congrats, Pop is for me or for us. And
well, you know what my company gave me, but that's another story.
Conversation.
That's another story.
But other than that, the only other experience with going back to work was just being so jet lagged. Like going to Amorgas was great. We did our due diligence, but not having those 3 days to counteract the jet lag. Going straight in, landing late Sunday. Like we didn't get into this apartment till I think like 10 p.m. that night, maybe even later. And then to be up at 6, getting ready to go into the work, I was the first 3 days in the office. I couldn't tell you my name, let alone respond to an email appropriately. And we were gone for 3 weeks. Yeah. So that
so
takes
you
a full
couldn't
2
afford
weeks to
like
readapt.
work from home or anything. They're like, nope, get in.
Yeah. That's another thing too. I milked my vacation, my sick time, everything with the honeymoon and the wedding. So yeah, I mean, my God, if I broke my arm heading to work, I was going to work. There was no taking off for anything. Like I was going to be in a slant typing at my desk. And yeah, I mean, I bounced back though. I bounced back. I recovered.
At the studio, all the girls, they just like wanted to see my ring, and they're like, "Oh, show me your ring, show me photos." I didn't have my ring because obviously I don't practice with it on, but I showed them all the photos, and a lot of people are thinking about going for their own honeymoon. Yeah.
We've convinced our closest friends to possibly be doing that.
So we're gonna share our itinerary with them.
Yes.
And let's see if they go. But coming back, I think a lot of people, they ask, like, is it different? Like, how has marriage life changed? And to be honest, it's pretty much the same for us just because we've been living together for like 2 to 3 years before getting married. I think if we waited to move in, then that would be a change. Because when we first moved in together, that was, it was a lot. It was hard getting used to living with someone else. Yeah,
and
like
I'd recommend
living
that
with a male, you know.
For everyone, you know, thinking of proposing or getting married, live with your significant other for at least 6 months.
Yeah, if you can,
honestly.
Please try, because
it's just routines. They clash, you know? Like, you have your way, I have my way. I have my way of cooking, you have your way of cooking.
Yeah.
How I organize my bathroom, you the way you organize yours, the everything.
Like, we grew up differently, so it's just like 2 different lifestyles coming together, and that was, it was a learning experience for sure. So
a necessary one, if that. You know, living with guys, you know, / bums, they can give a shit. You know, they'll sleep on a pizza box, not think anything of it. So living with her, it was definitely like, okay, yeah, I should probably light a candle. I should probably clean. The floor is dirty. The toilet seat should be down. I don't know what was I even thinking, you know, like stuff like that.
And it was funny because then you went to go visit some of your guys who were single, and you came back to me and you're like, wow, you should have seen their bathroom, or you should have seen their sponge at the sink. And I'm like, oh, look who's talking.
I was like, but I was never that bad. Like, some of my friends, like, holy Jesus. Like a TLC documentary was that bad.
I'm glad that you're learning now that you see. But yeah, so I would say like marriage hasn't changed much, or like our lifestyle hasn't changed. I feel like it will when we decide to grow our family. Then obviously that would be a change. But
Phase
other
2.
than that, like
Phase
no,
3.
yeah. But we're just taking our time right now. Still trying to figure out our finances and like where we want to buy a house and grow our family. But again, like we're taking our time with all that. So
exactly. It hasn't even been a year. It's been 6 months when you think about it. So halfway there, we have a plan. We're going to stick to it and just openly communicate about everything. And obviously there'll be more obstacles to come and more challenges awaiting us, but we're in it together, and that's marriage. That's basically the first big steps when you get back. Just everything together, no longer separate, together all the way.
Exactly.
And I'd say that phase of just like, the honeymoon, lovey-dovey, like just being overall affectionate with each other, it does last for a long time when you get back.
How long would you say it lasted?
For me, I'd say when reality hit me and I was like, okay, like, yes, this is the love of my life. And the honeymoon phase was great. And now we're married. But then when I slowly realized, like, okay, it's still going to take a little bit more time before small things change. The big things overall were great. But small things like respect for my car, which I've been trying to follow up with her and remind her about for all the years we've been together. And yeah, it was like a little bit over a month after we got married. And we were going up for 4th of July, and I just simply wanted her to clean the car, which she has been driving nonstop. Just clean the car. We're going to go up. We're going to see family. We'll probably have to drive people around. Just clean the car. Treat my car with respect. I love you. My wife, apple of my eye, love of my life. Just clean my car, please. Just before we go up. 1, 2, maybe 4 times I followed up with her. We went up there, and it was a pigsty. Yoga stuff, shoes, you name it. And of course, we ended up having to drive people, I think, to like wherever the hell we went. And they literally had to we had to rearrange the car because of everything in there. And I was like, someone didn't clean. Love my life.
Can we rewind that? Did you really say a month?
Month and a half.
A month and a half.
Month and a half.
Over the car. The car. I'm sorry that I like to keep things in the car, so whenever we're going someplace, I have it.
I'm the same way.
If I need to go to a studio, I got my yoga mat there. Oh, I don't have a sports bra? Look, there's one in the back. Oh, I don't have pants? I got pants in the back. Oh, I need sneakers? You want to go for a run? Okay, I got sneakers in the trunk. Like...
Not in the trunk.
You just like to clear out the car, and then when I need something... I don't have it in there because you're always taking stuff out. I can't even believe you brought that up. That's really something that you're going to mention that? That? For me, the
like honeymoon... I said, it was small. Viewers, comment, because I know people out there agree.
Okay. Well...
But no, it was basically just, that was it. Just, I was kind of hoping we'd grow past all those years. I was just reminding you, hey, you drive my car... By all means, sure. Just respect my car. Love my car the way you love me. Okay?
Okay.
The way you love this apartment.
Okay. And I just really love having things that I need.
Yeah, but to the point there's a dozen shoes on the floor.
There's not a dozen shoes.
There are a dozen shoes
there
on the floor.
There are flip-flops. There are sneakers. 2 shoes, 2 different shoes, just in case. You never know when you need flip-flops. You never know when you need sneakers.
3 shoes, 5 sneakers, 6 sandals.
Everything. No.
Everything you
okay.
Everything
Wow. I was going to say that for me, it lasted up until last week, which would be 6 months. Because we tried cooking together. I thought it'd be cute, us cooking together. And that was extremely short-lived, which we'll talk about probably in next week's episode because
episode 3.
Child, that was an experience. That I can't cook with you. I can't. No, I'm glad you know how to cook, but we can't cook together.
There's I'll cook with you if you do the entree, I do the appetizer. You do the entree,
if we're doing
I'll
something
do dessert.
Completely different.
If we do something completely different but still joint somehow in the end, we can coexist. But 1 meal, 2 chefs, I'm gone. I'll make the cocktails, I'll run to the grocery store, I'll do anything else, but no. I'm
gonna see if Chickpea can make an appearance.
Oh, careful. Ladies and gentlemen, Chickpea. Wow, that's
Say hello.
Can we get one more? There we go.
There you go.
Okay.
She said, hurry up. You guys are late for my dinner.
So
that's the famous Chickpea.
Good little recording we got of her.
Right? But yeah, next week we'll get into the whole cooking with your partner, okay? Because it's not for the
thumbs up or thumbs down.
Yeah, about that. Well, anyway, do you have any tips for people in the early marriage stage? How can they keep the joy? How can they stay in that honeymoon phase for as long as they can? What's your number one tip? Give me a tip right now.
Just to openly communicate. honestly, don't rush into anything. Go at your own pace. Once again, like I said, we told ourselves a year, we're going to have everything, planned and put together, a time of execution with everything. And I suggest that for all couples. Just don't rush into anything. Don't have that typical couples newlywed checklist that your mother and grandparents are on your ass about to, check this off, check that off. Now, okay, what next? What next? Like, no. Go at your own pace.
Yeah.
Do not compare yourself to people around you. That will eat away at you. Good things happen to great couples who have a plan.
Yeah.
And honestly, just focus on that, go on your own pace, and just
try not to keep
yourselves
up with the
small
Joneses.
things.
No one. Just
none of that.
Focus
None of that.
on your partner.
And even the smallest victories are worth celebrating.
Exactly. Celebrate every small win. I love coming home after every class. You're always like, how was class? And I'm just like, good. And you're like, just good?
Always good. Always good. Always the damn response.
Can you elaborate?
Like,
how was it?
Were there a lot of people there? Like,
yeah,
did you do something
exactly.
crazy?
Like, what happened? And I'm like, okay, yeah, it wasn't bad. We did so-and-so. But yeah, actually pay attention to what your partner has to say. Show interest. Don't just assume. And don't just be like, oh, hey, how was your day? And then that's it. Like, elaborate. Like, and then if they're like me who just say good, don't just be like, okay, end of story and move on. Poke them about it. Like, build that conversation. It's about communicating. Number one, communicating, keeping an open dialogue, and no win is too small at all. So,
yeah, well said. And value each other's opinions.
Oh, 100%. That is number one. That is number one.
Yeah.
Right. And don't be afraid to try something new. Start your own tradition. You guys are now a married couple. So pick a day to go on dates, or it can be like a date night out or a date night in. We love to have game nights. Like, we love playing Battleship. So some nights we're just like drinking wine and playing Battleship and just like listening to music in the background.
Yeah.
We have our shows that we love to watch, and we try not to watch these shows without the other person.
Try.
So, just try to build something new. This is your partner. This is your small family. We have our Christmas traditions, and we have our vacation traditions. Like, we love to go every year for our anniversary. Like, we're out the country. Like, we're gone.
And we're still having a hot discussion about that, because I want to do a cruise, but someone's not about cruises. So it's like, where do we draw that line?
Yeah, so
stuff like that.
Learn your partner, figure out new things to do with your partner, and put them first. People are allowed to give their opinion, but you have to do what's best for you at the end of the day. So remember who you married. Remember that person that you met the first day, and remember that feeling from your wedding and from the honeymoon, and just think about that cute face every time times get tough. Know that you have a strong partner by your side. Not a perfect partner, because you're not perfect, I'm not perfect, no one's perfect. But you have that partner. You guys are locked in, and I'm happy to be locked in for life, baby. Yes.
Well, if there is anything you want to add to this discussion, of course, just by all means, just put it in the comments. We'd love to hear it, and we'd love to discuss it. So please just openly communicate with us as we do with each other.
Follow us on the socials.
Follow us on the socials.
Leave those comments. But yes, tune in next week, where we're going to figure out if two people can be in the kitchen at the same time. Is it a one-person job or a two-person job?
Can't wait to find out.
We gonna find out, all right?
We gonna find out.
But thank you all so much for spending your Wednesdays. With us. Don't forget to subscribe. Follow us on all socials. Everyday Us. share it with your friends and family, and we'll see you next time.
And please comment. Please. See you next week.
Chickpea, any last words? Give me my dinner.
And now turns you.
Saturday.